What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So, in the wake of the FBI raiding Donald Trump's residence in Palm Beach, Florida, I believe it's called Mar-a-Lago, right? Hillary Clinton and her team have come up with the concept of these hats poking fun at the situation called But Her Emails, right? And a lot of articles are angling as like, hey, this is Trump's comeuppance. He's a hypocrite. He accuses her of hoarding evidence that would have shown her guilt or culpability in the situation, and he's done the same damn thing. It's true. It's absolutely true. Donald Trump is a fucking hypocrite. He preaches about corruption on one side of the aisle, but when he gets caught, it's always politicized. Oh, it's a witch hunt. They're after me, the Democrats. Even though he appointed the FBI director who ordered this. He appointed him, fired Comey and appointed this guy. But it's a Democratic witch hunt. But I want to be serious about something for a sec. If my memory serves me correctly, if someone can refresh me, because it's been a long time. It's been 10 years since the whole Benghazi thing, but if my memory serves me correctly, the allegations was that she had emails that were government, like at that time she was the Secretary of State, and these emails are highly classified. And instead of these emails being on her end received from a government encrypted, obviously extraordinarily guarded government email, restricted, non-public, non-personal email, well, personal to her, but only her. She had these emails rerouted to her personal BlackBerry, which ethics-wise, I think is not correct, all right? They should not be in her personal emails, all right? Then the fact that so many emails were deleted, because they were investigating the whole Benghazi situation, and many of the emails that were related to that back and forth about the situation were deleted. They never were found. And look, we got to remember that situation. If I remember correctly, people can correct me, but wasn't the implication that the Obama administration had plants in that crowd that were rioting, and they were supposed to be there for optics situation, but it got out of hand? They went into the embassy where the ambassador was at, murdered him, paraded his corpse throughout the streets, and supposedly even sodomized him. Now, I don't know about the sodomized part, but the footage and the photographs do indicate that they were parading his body around the street. So the whole situation was extraordinarily tragic. Did the Trump administration play it up for votes? Yeah, they did. But the whole situation was tragic. And this situation is not a laughing matter. A former president illegally obtaining, stealing classified information and keeping it within his residence, I don't think that's a laughing matter. Will we want a president that thinks that he can do whatever the fuck he want to do? I do find this interesting, though. They're already saying that even though he may have had illegal information on him, and there's some evidence that, hey, somebody was seen flushing shit down the toilet, right? It still won't disbar him from running again. They said, no, well, yeah, in normal circumstances, a person having obtain, classified information would bar them from running again. But the presidency is a tricky thing. So that's what I'm talking about. That's why I'm still of the opinion that nothing's going to happen to him. Already they're saying, well, yeah, technically, in most other situations, this would prevent a person from being able to run for that office again. But the presidency is different. It's constitutional. It's a constitutionally created position. So we can't really apply this logic to that job. And yeah, because we don't want someone, of trustworthiness in that office. We want a charlatan and a fraud and a criminal in that office. So yeah, it doesn't matter. It's bullshit, man. Like I said before, man, these people are protected, and I'm still not convinced anything's gonna happen to Trump. All this shit's for show. All this shit is really just posturing now when I think about it, man. I think it's just, look, at this point, Trump doesn't just have enemies within the Democratic Party. He has enemies within the Republican Party. So yeah, this may be partly partisan. This might be, something that was done to make him look really bad and to lower his standards within the party, within the Republican Party. He keeps talking about the Democrats. You got to remember, he has enemies within his own party. So all it takes is a coalition between, the Democrats and rank and file Republicans who are not who are not within the Trump faction, and that's all it takes. All you need is to have Democrats conspire with rank and file Republicans who aren't part of the Trump faction, not part of that group, and you could have this type of shit happen. At this point, do you really, if you're the Republican Party, right, do you really want Trump back and all of that nonsense? Do you really want him back? If you're Mike Pence, when there's some evidence to suggest that, hey, your life might have been in danger on that day, do you really want this motherfucker back in that position? So yeah, it probably was partly politics at the very least. But, I don't blame them. We don't want either one of these motherfuckers, Hillary or Trump. Get the motherfuckers the fuck up out of here.